today we have some products that I ordered through a friend, and I'll try to link her information below in the description, from Shaklee. She's a Shaklee representative, and I didn't want to join Shaklee, so I just order through her, and she's so wonderful. Her name is Leslie Wilson, and she has a presence on Instagram, and I'll find that information and link it for you. She's a fitness professional, and so she recommended some vitamins for all of us, and so we are very happy and excited to do this unboxing today. Aujourd'hui. Come on, man. Oh, kitties. The kitties are fighting, of course. Okay. So I got, oh wow. I think they may have gifted me or given me a bonus, because I don't remember ordering this women's multi. I thought I had ordered 2 of this menopause complex. Cool. So I got a women's multi, a menopause complex. So I'm in that post-menopause phase, so I'm not like having the constant hot flashes and stuff, but I do have night sweats that are sometimes dramatic, sometimes less so. So this is so tiny I can't even read it. Looks like it has flaxseed oil. It has soy isoflavones, which I think bind to estrogenic receptors, or estrogen receptors, and have some kind of estrogen mimicking effect. But actually, so some people will tell you that soy is feminizing, or which, you want when you're in menopause, or carcinogenic because of its affinity for estrogen receptors. But studies throughout Asia, from my memory, have shown that women who eat a lot of soy have less incidence of breast and ovarian cancer, precisely because these estrogen mimicking molecules have an affinity for estrogen receptors. So they competitively inhibit the receptor, and thus inhibit anything that, like the growth of anything, breast tissue cancers, etc., that are estrogenic feeding, or estrogen feeding. I'm not a doctor, quite clearly, but something like that, I remember. Because we, in A&P, when I took that when I was going through EMS, and you have to go through the endocrine system, which is a nightmare. It's so hard. I don't remember anything anymore, but maybe I'll start to remember things again. So here we go. And then I ordered for my son and my husband, and they're a little pricey, so I only ordered 1 bottle for them to try and tell me, make sure it doesn't upset their stomach or keep them up at night or give them a headache or something, because vitamins can be weird, But I trust Shaklee. I think they're probably really well formulated. I don't know. I don't do research into vitamin formulations and cleanness and stuff. My daughter actually does a lot of that, knows a lot about that. So I might ask her what she thinks, but I trust my colleague in fitness, Leslie. I trust her judgment. And anyway, so this is the haul pretty much, and then it looks like they gave me a little goodie thing. Oh, it's just a product catalog, but it's nice. Oh my gosh, so I can like really look, because I have a hard time sometimes shopping just from an online site, because you just scroll, and I'm a dinosaur. I like my paper. Okay, so very nice, very nice. I'm very excited about my Shaklee products. Thank you, Leslie. And then from another source of wellness, well-being, and health and spirituality, I have just recently found, and this is, some of you are gonna sound, might think it's a little woo, and full disclosure, I'm a little woo. You all know that I lived in Boulder for many years, and I would be there still if it weren't too expensive. If my life ever changes and I'm wealthy, I will have a house in Boulder, Colorado, because it's heaven on earth. Okay, so anyway, this woman, her name is Kara Elizabeth. Her channel excuse me. Her channel is called Kara Elizabeth Speaks on YouTube, and she's got an Instagram presence. She's got a website. That's where I ordered this from. So she's an artist and a tarot reader and a healer, basically a spiritual mind channeling person. And if that's not something you believe in, that's fine. I mean, I'm a Darwinist. A huge part of my undergraduate was spent in biological anthropology classes and primate classes, and the human animal classes, as well as just my little bit of medical background. So I just think that there are things that we cannot fully know, and that I'll take Pascal's wager. I will wager on having some faith and doing good in this world, because I have nothing to lose if the wager is wrong. Anyway, so, oh yeah, my husband ordered something too. So, Czesław Miłosz, a Polish author. This is for hubby. Very nice. Miłosz escaped Nazi-occupied Poland, came to the United States, and said that what he found here was a different kind of oppression, but oppression nonetheless, via our capitalist fetishization. So he escaped communism, did not believe in communism, but came to the United States, and because he was, so accomplished, he became a professor in our university system. And he said that he just found that he'd replaced one kind of oppression for another, and that he was fortunate to have everything that he had to bring to his new vulnerable status here in the United States. He was a published author and a professor already in Europe, and people knew him, and so he could find work. But what he saw living in California was a lot of just people working 80 hours a week and living in their cars and things like that. And this was, just after the war, the big one, the World War II. Of course, we were coming out of it. Well, I should shut up. Okay, so this woman, Kara Elizabeth, designs her own oracles. I don't know if she's got others. I believe she does. She's got a new one coming out, I think, sometime soon. But I've been watching her channel and listening to her readings and her channelings, and they're so remarkable, and I don't get the feeling that she's somebody that thinks that you can navel gaze and the world around you will change. I think she does believe that if you work on yourself, that the external world will reflect that. Because I try to avoid anything that's like solipsistic woo, where like if you just change your thinking, the world will, it's both and, it's not either or, in my opinion. Because we have very real material conditions that we have to confront and address together as a collective, as a species. And that's the challenge, because there's so many different points of view on everything. But anyway, so that's why it's important to work on ourselves first. And everything that I've heard her say so far has been divinely timed, and uncanny. Like, I found her at just the right time when I needed her, and what she was saying reflected exactly what I was going through and am going through. And maybe I'll talk about that for a minute. So let's just make sure. So this Animal Apothecary Oracle deck. And I know that some of you are more biblically based, and if you find this to be something that you don't agree with, I guess I respect your opinion, but what I would say is maybe study a little bit more about what the Bible actually is, who wrote it and why, and why you're not supposed to be empowered spiritually. I was raised in the church, in the Catholic Church, and there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful mysticism and very, very deeply compassionate teachings that come from Jesus and the church and the mystics of the church, which is what, if you're a Christian, I would say move away from dogma and move toward the mystics, like St. John of the Cross. I don't know about not Aquinas, no. If I can think of more, what's his name? Thomas Merton. Is it Thomas Merton? He was a monk who took a vow of silence, and his writings are just positively erudite. Anyway, so this deck, and I'm just now really gonna start getting into learning tarot, but this isn't specifically tarot. This is her own, oracle deck that she created. And this says, medicine to fulfill your purpose. So I think what Jung would say is that you're dealing with the contents of the unconscious and the energies and the synchronistic aligned energies surrounding everything we think and see and perform, and they are reflected in our surroundings. So some of you might know who Dr. Jordan Peterson is, and full disclosure, once again, I kind of think he's a clown. He's gone insane. But when he was writing, like 30 years ago, 25 years ago, Maps of Meaning, that's actually a good book. He's a Jungian, and
I don't smell like that down here.
he would tell you the very same thing that I'm telling you. Hold on. Yeah. Kiddo asked what that smell was, and I suspect it was the cat box. Anyway, yeah, so we have a little insect problem, cockroaches, which is really new for us. We never had it before, so we had to leave the house for a while anyway. And so, all right, so I've been sort of glancing through this deck, I'm gonna pull a card. Again, this is the Animal Apothecary, and this is the author, Cara Elizabeth, and I'm gonna link her channel, so you guys, if you're interested, can go find her. She has a huge following, but I think she's positively magic. I really do. I don't know, take what you need and leave the rest, is how I feel about kind of new agey stuff, and in particular like YouTube. But I find stuff out there, and I do think that people can be very tapped in to other layers and levels and dimensions of consciousness and reality. So yeah, let's see. Oh, I just broke it. See beyond the past. Interesting. I'm just gonna take a look at that because I thought, I don't know. Let's see. Or the meaning. This card is the story of what happened to the black swan as an adult. Reflected in the water is his heartbroken child self. Let's take a look. Despite how gorgeous Black Swan became, he suffered from severe shame and feelings of unworthiness. He could not see the glorious truth of himself. He became crippled by the delusion that something was inherently wrong with him. He believed a wicked distortion that diminished his worth. He was utterly unaware of his captivating beauty and could honor neither himself nor the gifts that the great mystery had bestowed upon him. He became obsessed with outside validation and compared himself to other winged creatures. Wow. I mean, isn't that like a really common story for all of us? The ugly duckling finally woke up to his true self as the beautiful black swan and asks you to do the same. Swan's medicine asks you to accept that you feel your insecurities, but do not submit to them. Whenever you feel small, it is not reality. It is the old story and the programming that brainwashed you. Please wake up from the illusion and honor what the Great Spirit gifted you. The gift of yourself. No one in the world is like you. Own that you are a rare miracle. You know, and I just love that. It's so basic, but it's lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of trying to find this, to live this. And so I want you to notice the beautiful colors in her cards. And they're like abstract art, you know, and graphics. But the whole deck is all just animal medicine. And that speaks to me. So that's just one. And let's see what's on the bottom of this. Ooh. Keep trying. And it's a starfish. And let's take a look. Number 4. I was reading about this one earlier. I don't have them, like I'm just starting to, well, clearly because I just got the deck today. The medicine of this card speaks of wishes being granted, but also the understanding that you will have to try again and again to revive what you desire. To receive what you desire. The process of trial and error will lead to fulfillment. There was a long story of a maiden who was given a starfish, and she didn't understand why the stars gave it to her until finally she watched it regrow. Excuse me, I've got like a cat hair or something. At this very moment, she had a deep expansion of consciousness. Witnessing the starfish regenerate, she understood the message from the stars. She could heal herself. The ability to do this was not outside, it was always within. Whether you are healing, manifesting, or creating a meaningful relationship, Starfish's medicine is to keep trying. Understand that all you deem to be failures lead you closer to the right action. If she hadn't taken multiple approaches, she would never have been led to the answer that lies within. And so, yeah, I feel like this is happening to me in my life. And a lot of the people that I know that I'm friends with on here, some of my mutuals and other people, you guys are already there. Like, you already know this stuff. You're already just living your, like, who is Peaches left the city, went to the country, and she's homesteading. A lot of people that I follow are doing van life, are homesteading. They're reclaiming their lives from corporate culture or post-divorce or whatever. Like, they're just already there. A lot of you are just already there. So, you know this stuff. But I do think that we all spiral. We can go up and we can go back down, just like our health journeys, you know, the stages of change. You know, we can grow and become ourselves, and then we can become disempowered. So I'm just catching up. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I've hit this wall a few times, but then I just keep going back to the corporate world and trying to find a job, trying to fit in somewhere. And it never works. It never works. I always end up being frustrated. I usually end up being targeted for bullying, probably because, like, that ugly duckling, I'm definitely an oddball. I tend to question things that most people just are like, what? Just do it. I'm like, well, why don't we just change it? Well, you just started here. You know what I mean? Like, I tend to question things and challenge why we do things the way we do. And I don't feel like I go into anything with any arrogance or anything like that, but I just feel like there's something in me that really rebels against the way the people at the top will just say, you at the bottom can deal with the shit. You're the ones that have to you know, like, we're the ones that deal with customers being pissed off at us because the software in front of us just doesn't work, or the policies somewhere are just, like, not that chill, you know, not that welcoming. We are the front like, desk, or when I've done QMAP and care, we're the ones caring for people. Corporate's cutting staff. We're the ones getting the shit. So, you know, I tend to call that shit out, and people do not like it. I'm just supposed to we're all just supposed to accept this capitalist, realist hellscape that we inhabit. And I'm done. Like, we're all trapped in it, right? But I'm really trying to step into just knowing that I have something to bring. I'm working on, you know, all those external validation things, certifications, etc. But mostly I'm just sort of starting to find a little seed of something that hopefully will be this beautiful swan. And I'm going to keep trying, but not the wrong things. And so we all got this. So I just want to encourage you guys to know that if you're, like, many of us, not necessarily neurotypical, a little different, a little odd, a little quirky, a little eccentric, you know, you're a swan. You're a swan, you know? And we just see it, believe it. I know I'm working on that right now. And keep trying. So I think this could refer, for me, to like trying to become an entrepreneur instead of just believing that I have to work for other people because they've got all the money. So I don't know. That was fun. We'll do more of them through, you know. But I just wanted to show you these too, like just how beautiful they are. And here's the top. And I've seen her talk about this card, Perception, and it's counterintuitive because we've all been told that, like, oh, don't put your head in the sand, you know, that means you're ignoring reality. She has a whole different way of explaining and interpreting the meaning of the ostrich, I guess, with its head in the sand, which is that she's turning over the biggest egg in the bird kingdom. Like, she is actually nurturing. Her head is in the sand because she's turning her egg. So she's nurturing her baby. So isn't that cool? So this deck is just like full of surprises. It's really pretty. A lot of like pastels. I like this one. But also just like really rich with meanings that are not, you know, necessarily like hit you in the face apparent meanings. So yeah, that is my haul for today, and I guess the rest of my day will be spent studying this, learning this, and also I'm still working on my National Association of Sports Medicine, NASM, personal trainer and nutrition certifications, because that's the direction we're going. I am trying to recondition myself. If you've been following me for any time, you know that I had COVID in 2022. That wasn't a severe infection, but I just couldn't get over it for the longest time. And then I started to get better, and wham, we got hit again last year, I think. Was it last year? Or was it 23 in October? And then, interestingly, I recovered from that a lot more quickly. It took a while, but I recovered from it a lot more quickly, and I almost think that it aided my long recovery. But I still deal with some stuff like POTS that a lot of people that have like long COVID have, which is, you know, you can't stand up fast. Sometimes you just, if you're doing something, like your blood pressure will just drop really quickly, and you just have to lay down. And so, you know, there's that fatiguing really quickly after during and after exercise. So that's why I do exercise snacks or smaller workouts. But I have been exercising again and trying to recondition. And I did notice the first day I had a trainer, the first day that I was doing some cabled presses, I could only do 10 pounds, and I was like, I was shaking. And then I did that a couple of a few training sessions, and then the last 2 times I trained with that, I was able to do 15. So I'm seeing, some improvement, which is why I want to be able to stay at a gym, but like I had to leave my workplace. It was extremely toxic. And again, I just think that, maybe something that we think of as very traumatizing, which it felt like, it can be medicine if we know how to transmute it. And that's why I love this gosh, I hope I don't sound like I'm falling into some kind of personality cult, but I really find this healer to be she's very spot on, and she really speaks the language that I can accept, because it's not scapegoating, it's not gaslighting, it's not just shift your perception. It's recognizing the shadow and the wound, but knowing that if we just can work with that, bring it out into the light, that can turn into what she calls diamonds. And I just love her. I just wanted to share her and her deck with you. And my dear colleague, Leslie Wilson, who has a presence on Instagram, and I think she might be giving like workout sessions live or recorded. I'm not sure. I know she's doing the NASM PT, or she may have already finished it by now, because she's a very serious person. She puts her mind to something and it's done. She's already got a nutrition certification, and she's been working on her health for a while, and her personal story is really empowering as well. So I'm going to try to make sure I have all of that information for you linked in the description below, and just encourage all of you to check them out, and all of you to also just keep honoring the 7 sacraments, or 7 of the practices that I consider sacraments. So mindfulness, food, movement, community, gratitude, nature, and rest. So, namaste, salam alaikum, shalom, peace, blessed be.